goes pop, just like that. So here we are.
What is going on, everyone? We are back. Episode 32 of Weekend Wisdom. Great to be back. Great to see everyone. It's been hurting me not coming on. I've been wanting to talk about some advocacy. Had a lot on my mind about it, but we're back. We're here to talk about it and we're ready to go with it.
Hell yeah.
So, Shane, start off with your buffet, man.
All right. Hold on. Let me get my chat fixed here. I couldn't. There we go. Now then, I have to put my chat in the corner so I can still click buttons if I need to. Okay. So got my Amit MTL on the Armor Pro. I've got the very last little bit of my Wicked Berry from Paradigm Distro in there and in the Caliburn. But it should be here Tuesday. So if I could make it through tomorrow and half a day Tuesday, because it comes to my office, I'll be okay. So I got the intake dual on the uh, Shogun. In there, got some Pango from Transistor. And I still got the Creed on the Keen with the Cloud Nerds Strawberry Lemon in there. Always the Drop Dead on the Overlord, and in there the Shamrock Cookie. And I have the Tenacious Unicorn with the Ardent all matchy matchy on top. And in there, hashtag Banana Land, some Boule Bolu. Coming down to the end of that bottle, so I have another one of those ordered too. And big lunch is here. The Asgard on the Keen in there, still rocking the manga bees. Pineapple, mango, guava. So
Nice.
that is all I've got today. What you rocking?
Let's see. So, my all day, every day, what I've been vaping on for the past couple weeks, I guess you could say. I got this right here. I got the Barrage from Thesis and Asmodus on top of the Revenant Cartel. Inside that, I got Tango Melon, the very last bit of it I have left. Was rocking that in this as well, the Ardent with that unicorn, the Tenacious Unicorn. I was rocking that, but now I got some of this bear kiwi dragon fruit. It's pretty good. I think I picked it up for like $4. I was like, it might not be that great. It's a $4 liquid or whatever. I think I got it for like half off of that. So I think it was like $2, but it's a really good liquid. I really like it. Next, I got the Goon 25 with the DHT Inferno Chop Top on top of the Dreamer. Always got to rock this black button. Inside that, I got some Karango. And then next, something I've been rocking for a little while is the Bonza stack with the Apocalypse 25 and a DHD nub tip with some of this Guerrilla Warfare. It's a strawberry flaky pastry, and it's really good. It kind of almost reminds me of Jam Monster, but a little bit more flavor to it. You get that buttery, flaky flavor on it, so I
Mm,
really enjoy it. It's really good.
sounds
Um,
good.
oh yeah, and I was like, man, it's like I rocked it in one thing. I was like, man, this is a little bit too much of it. But then I put it in the stack, and I've really been loving it ever since. But that's what I've been rocking. I've been rocking few things here and there, but some of them need a re-wicking, and I just never really feel like doing it. But yeah, I mean, it's what I've been using the last couple of weeks. Those have pretty much been my all days for the last couple of weeks.
I'm surprised you still have that pink unicorn in your hand. I figured
Yeah.
Angel would have that thing and you'd never see it again.
Now, whenever I'm at home, she uses it a lot, but actually, I want to say one thing about this. This coating is super tough because I'm very forgetful. I don't know what it is. I'm not really a hard person on mods. I don't throw them around. I make sure I keep them like organized and not to where they're gonna fall or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then I'll keep it like on my leg whenever I get out of the truck and I'll drop it. And I dropped this one on concrete and rocks, and there's like very minimal chipping on it. It pretty much just like dented it,
Yeah.
and the coating is still on there. The coating didn't chip off. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
talked
cool.
to Trevor on the Discord, and I
Hmm.
asked him, hey, what is this coating? Because it feels different. It
Yeah,
doesn't feel like Cerakote or gun coat or anything like that.
yeah,
And he said it's kind of like that, and it's a bake on finish, but it's not Cerakote or gun coat. He couldn't remember the name of what it was.
hmm.
But yeah, it's very durable. It feels good. It's not. It's a little bit slicker than Cerakote. It's a little
Yeah.
bit
It is.
smoother, but I mean, it's a great finish. And
Yeah,
I mean,
I notice
it's
like if my hands are a little wet or sweaty, if I'm
yeah,
pushing, it kind of slides it out of my hand a little bit.
yeah. But the finish on there is just phenomenal.
Hmm. And the camera really doesn't do this one justice. This pink is
Yeah,
badass looking.
mine won't focus. Oh, there
I
it
really,
goes. Now it'll focus. And James said his cap and mod are two different colors, but you really can't tell it on mine.
yeah, mine are pretty close. I don't think mine are any different.
Yeah,
But I've been loving.
his looks the shade on his looks a lot different than because I looked at mine after he said it, and it mine looks almost identical. And I think what
Hmm.
it is just like he said, it's the two different metals.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, we're going to talk a little bit about some advocacy. We're going to talk about some states, what's going on in them. I've been keeping up with it as much as possible. I've been very busy lately, but I've been keeping up with it quite a bit, and it's looking like it's turning a little bit better. But last time we said that, everything went to shit. So
Yeah,
uh, hopefully, it is going a little bit better this time. I've seen a whole bunch of states come to stoppages where they didn't really take away their rights, but they pretty much the government or someone had to come in and say, "Hey, your state of emergency thing is BS. So we're just going to kind of pull that away from you. We're not going to say that you can use that no more." Which I think is really good that they did that because they came in and they pretty much just did it to where they could loophole around and get it to where it goes into effect immediately.
yeah,
And but then you look over at some other states where New Jersey, New York, and some states are trying to come together and they're all trying to make it to where it's all the same regulation within those couple of states. And I don't want to say that I like that idea, but I like the idea of states coming together and getting the same regulations because, like they were saying, you can go to one state, you can drive, if you're on the border, you can drive 15 minutes to the other state, go buy your liquid or a mod, drive back, and then you're breaking the law. I do like what they're trying to say is that all the states should be the same, but I don't like the way that they're doing it. I don't like the way that they're trying to say, okay, yeah, we should ban everything in all the states to where it's like that. No, but being on the same page, I do like that. So at least they're trying to do something, but it's not something good for us. But I do think that that's what all the states should do. I think they should all band together and they should all say, okay, hey, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. Not, hey, you could drive to one state, be against the law, or you could drive to this state, yada,
right.
yada.
And
But
the thing I don't
yeah,
understand is they're going to ban it within their state, but if you're an online store selling to another state, you can do it.
yeah,
If
that's
it's
weird.
if it's a health risk, why are you willing to risk the health of people that are right beside you? You know,
Hmm.
Vermont and New Hampshire are side by side. I know there's
Hmm.
no bans there. That's just the first thing I thought of. But one can ban it, but you can still sell it to the other one. You just can't sell it to anybody here. It just
Yeah.
makes no sense.
And we actually had a little rally in Texas. I didn't get to make it to it. It started whenever I was at work and my daughter had practice and we had a lot going on that day, so I didn't get to go. But there was actually a little rally in Texas, and it didn't really get to make it to the news, I guess, because it wasn't as big. But also, since, from what I've talked to Own Life Buck about, was that a lot of the people there was more people protesting for other reasons too. He said there was like at least 10 different groups protesting and one of them was the vaping one. So I mean that's really great. I love to see people getting involved. I don't know who all went, but I thank everyone who went. Sorry I didn't get to make it. I really wanted to go. If I would have found out sooner that he was coming, I probably would have put in a vacation day, or I probably would have went in real early so that way I could have left early. But I am glad that we did a little meetup rally in front of whenever he was doing his whenever Trump was doing all his speeches and everything. But Trump actually went through my town and he actually got gas in our town. And the owner of the gas station sent us a video and he's like, yeah, what the heck? He's like, I guess he's not that important. They didn't fill up the gas tank beforehand. I don't know. Whatever, man.
It's like, oh, we're almost out of gas. Let's just stop here.
Yeah, let's stop at this little redneck town. I was like, what the heck? He stopped there. There was like 5 or 6 cars all parked around him so that way no one could get near him. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Well, it may
But
be that they just don't want to stop in a metropolitan area because it's not as safe as, say, a town
yeah,
like both of us live in.
yeah, true, true. But I mean, from what I've seen, the stoppages on some of these emergency actions and everything, I like it that they're stepping in, they're doing this, but I just hope that for the right reason. It's not just because they wanted to go through Congress and get passed through, which it seems like that's what they want to do. But I think it should be for other reasons too. I think it should be for what other states are doing and what other countries are doing. They want to do more research on it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one thing I said to a lady whenever I called is, okay, so y'all say y'all don't have long-term effect research on it. We understand that. We completely understand that. We don't have a 50-year research plan because we haven't been around for 50 years. We understand that. But whenever cigarettes and everything else came out like this, and alcohol and everything, I mean, this was before the time that they even had research like this, but were y'all going to ban it for 100 years just so that way y'all can make sure y'all can get the research and then bring it back out? I was like, no, y'all aren't going to do that. That's just like with new diets and everything or new anything. No one goes out there and says, or even like these new robots that are coming out and everything for manufacturing plants and everything.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they get built and they pitch an idea to a company, they're like, hey, screw it, bring them in. They
Yeah.
don't sit there and say, okay, well, we want to do a 10-year research plan on them before we bring them in. No, because everyone wants the newest, highest technology thing. So it's the same thing with vaping. You can't ban something for 50 years just to be able to get the research on it. We can keep doing the research as we go. And I mean, the research that we do have now says it's 95.5% safer alternative.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I love to see is that we still have that research backing us up, but it just sucks to see that no one wants to look at it. If everyone wants to look at the same thing, it'd be awesome. I
Yeah.
wish everyone could be on the same page as everyone else.
Yeah. And it's tough because you have so many different people coming in and saying, "Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Oh no, this is good. This is good." And it's who do you believe? You have to do the research on your own. You know, one thing that somebody told me years ago was you believe half of what you hear, or only believe half of what you hear, and hardly believe anything you actually see. So whenever I said that completely backwards. Don't believe hardly anything you hear and only believe half of what you see. So if you actually do the research on your own, you will find the truth. The truth is out there. There's three sides to every story: their side, your side, and the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always somewhere in between these two stories is the truth.
Yep.
So you have to do it on your own. And you mentioned regulations earlier, and I think all vapors are on kind of the same page with that. If
Yeah.
there's sensible regulations, and the key word there is sensible, if there's sensible regulations, we're fine. You won't see us gathering like they're going to do in DC for sensible regulations. Banning
Yeah.
is going to cause gatherings. And we don't want everybody out there to think, yeah, we're winning, but we have to take those little tiny wins and appreciate them. That's
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that I can tell everybody. Make
Yep.
sure that you are taking note of not just that they made a tiny win, but how they did it. So that way, when
Yeah.
it comes to your state, you can go to your legislator and say, "Well, I know that Michigan did X, Y, Z, but then okay, they came back in this ABC and they took it away." Which they haven't fully taken it away yet. They just told uh, Czar Whitmer that she was being unconstitutional and
Yeah.
causing small business to bankrupt, which is exactly what she was doing, and we all knew that from the beginning. So, but special shout out to any and everyone that is involved in these court proceedings. I know the VTA has a hand in a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and they're probably to the point now where they're getting a little spread thin, but they're still going after it.
Yep.
Uh, you know, anyone and everyone that's involved in those court proceedings against these bans deserves a pat on the back. Uh, shake their hand, thank them, and let them know how much it means to you that somebody was willing to step up and spend the money that John Q. Vapor doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to really, really, really take care of those people that are going to battle for us.
Yep. And I also want to throw a thank you out there to everyone who is making all the phone calls. And another special thank you, or if you're still making the phone calls. I mean, if you've already made them, yeah, thank you for that. But keep making those phone calls. I mean, if
We'll be back up in just a second, folks.
what's up? What's up?
Okay, so we should still be live. Let me get back over here and turn this back on. Bam. Oh, wait a minute. Hell, I'm muted. There we go. We should still be live. Sorry, folks. Potato,
All right.
potatoes and dangle clacks. Oh, there it is.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're
All
on.
right, so we're still live. Okay, good. Okay. So, like I was saying, I want to thank everyone who's still making the calls. Keep making them, even if everything does come out to an all-out ban, yada yada. Keep making those calls. Keep letting them know that we're still here. We are still going to vape. This is going to be killing other people who will not be able to get their hands on it. But also, I want to give a huge shout out and a huge thank you to Kasal. We've been saying they've been on point for the last couple months now, I think, and they've been doing great. They've been sending out surveys and stuff. They've been sending out calls to action. They've been keeping people informed with like the march in Washington and everything, all the rallies that are going on. They've been keeping people up to date on those, so that's really great. I hope everyone can make it out to those, but also I just want to let everyone know that I'm thanking all of them. They've been doing great. They've been doing an awesome job. And I believe if you cannot make it to the rally in Washington, which Legion and everyone has been doing a great job of getting that organized. They have a stage, they have a perfect spot ready. They had one spot ready, but then they switched it to another one because it was even better. It had a better view. They could see us better, and we didn't have to move and all this other stuff. And it's bigger, so it's awesome. So thank you to everyone who is getting this organized and all of that. But also a huge thank you to everyone who is doing their part on all this. And like everyone's been saying, oh, well, I might not be able to make it, or some people can. You can still help out in any way. Make your phone calls, send letters, like people have been saying, emailing, doing whatever you can. Send money. I mean, I think there's even a thing on CASA, or I'm pretty sure you could do something with Legion or one of them. I know they have something to where they have a website set up to where all the funds go towards that. If you can't make it, I mean, even donating a couple dollars to help out with, maybe you're saying, hey, I'm gonna send in $50 so that way y'all can use this to order lunch for some people or whatever it is. Just let's try to do it to where we have to where we're still helping people, even if you can't make it. Because I'm still looking at plane tickets and everything. I'm trying to make it down there. I'm trying to look at hotels and stuff so that way I can make it. I know Shane can't make it. He just started a new job, unfortunately, but I mean, he's still going to be there with us no matter what on all of this. He's still going to keep making those phone calls, sending those letters, emailing. Um, and another thing with emailing, if you get a response back that you feel like it's a copy and paste, email them again. Reply to that email, because it's not an email to where it's like, hey, well, okay, we understand, but this is a no reply back email. Reply back to the email. Tell them what you think about the letter they sent back or whatever their email was to you. Reply back to them and talk to them about it. Don't just sit there and say, okay, yeah, this is what they think. Reply back. Tell them what you think was wrong and what was right in that email. Because, like Shane said, we want regulation. This is what we're fighting for. We're not fighting for vaping to be unregulated. We're not going through all this for that. We're fighting because we want to stay here. We want to be a part of harm reduction industries. We don't want to. We're not trying to sit here and fight just so that way. It's just okay. Yeah, we don't want any regulations. No, that's not what we're fighting for. We're fighting for sensible regulations and something to where we could stay around. We need it. We need it to where you can have the small mom and pop places, or you can have the big companies that are manufacturing or distributing things. We want everyone to be able to have a part in this. If you feel like harm reduction, vaping is something you want to do, we want to make sure that you can do that. That's what we are
And
fighting.
right there on the ticker, uva.org is their website.
Yep,
So
yep.
go to that website. It will update you on anything you want to know about the DC rally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so make sure you stay updated with it, especially if you're going to go, because I believe everything is set times and all that. So just make sure if you're going to go, you're there within those times. I think it's like 12 to 4.
Yeah.
I know Saw put something out on it. They had flyers to where you could print out. I printed out a bunch, took them to my local vape shop. I think I kept like one or two, so that way if there's any other vape shops that want them, I can drop them off, or I can give them the link and they can go print them off, or I could give them a copy and they can go make copies of it. But I mean, try to help out as much as you can. Get the word out on it. Uh, like I said, I've been printing out those flyers trying to get them to as many vape shops as possible. I actually went on my lunch break the other day and talked to a couple of them, and one of them, there's a couple people on there who are higher social media platform status or whatever. They do tricks and stuff like that. They're sponsored by companies. One of them actually told me that a couple of the companies told them, if you repost a couple advocacy posts, that'll be your posting for the week for us or the month for us,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome that companies are doing this, because they're not just saying, hey, we'll do a video of you blowing some O's with our product. No, they're saying, hey, just do some advocacy posts. It's fine.
Yep.
We want to see that. It doesn't have to be a certain one. It doesn't have to have our name on it or anything. Just do a couple advocacy posts. It's finally getting to the point where people aren't thinking about themselves or their company. They're thinking about the industry, and that's what we really need. That's where we really need it to go. We can't think about ourselves no more.
Yep.
Yeah, still call your local state, still worry about yourself, but we got to think about everyone, and especially if you're one of the people in the industry who is a reviewer or a company or a distributor, or that's your way of making your living is through this harm reduction product. This is something you got to think of. You can't just only think about yourself right now. The
Mm-hmm.
industry is where it needs to be. The sad thing is, though, it took so long for everyone to realize this. Whenever there was so many people saying, "Hey, we need to start doing something about it," but hey, we're people make mistakes. People are human. We understand. You didn't want to listen at the time. Now you want to listen. It's okay. As long as you're doing something now, that's all that matters. We're not gonna sit there and nitpick at each company, but I mean, as long as you're doing something now, that's what really matters, because we need this right now. We need as many people involved as possible. I think the guy I talked to at that shop, he said that I asked him about it. He said, yeah, we've already been talking to everyone. We're up on that website. We're waiting for those flyers to come out so we can start printing them out. I went in there, I think the next day they already had them printed out and on their shelves. Anytime you bought a product, hey, take one of these for anyone. Even if you bought something from them every day for the next year, they're gonna, or every day until this happens, they're gonna tell you, hey, take one.
Yeah.
Pass it if you have one already. Pass it out to someone else,
Mm-hmm.
because when you get more people involved, not even vapors, just people who believe in human rights and
Right.
being able to have your freedom. Because I mean, honestly, this is, like Shane said, unconstitutional. Like what they told Whitmer, this is unconstitutional. This is taking away rights and freedoms that we have as Americans. We're not in a communist country. This is
Right.
something that we really need to fight for ourselves, because This is one thing I use in life a lot. If you give someone an inch, they're going to take a mile. Same thing like even at work.
Mm-hmm.
Someone tells you to do something that's not your job, it's their job, and you start doing it to help them out, they're going to eventually start asking you that almost every day or every other day. Hey, you think you could help me out with that again? Or hey, you think you can do this for me again? It's eventually going to start to where they're going to start taking a mile and you're going to start doing more and more for other people. So we need everyone involved, anyone possible. My mom, she's trying to get involved. She doesn't even vape, but she knows what it does and she knows how it helps people. So she wants to get involved. I have friends who don't even vape. They know what I'm doing. They're saying, "Hey, well, I see you over here being an advocate for vaping. That's awesome. That's you need to keep doing it because they're trying to take away y'all's rights. They're not
Mm-hmm.
seeing it as, oh well, this black market stuff's doing this. No, they're seeing it as, hey, they understand it's the black market that's doing this. They don't want to admit it, and they're just trying to take away rights because it's taking away their money. It's crazy whenever people who don't smoke, vape, or anything understand that.
Yep.
And it's awesome to see people who understand it because honestly, it's more like they have a little bit of common sense to me. That's what I see it as.
Yeah. When you can get John Doe involved that doesn't do any of it, but he's a freedom guy. You know, I learned, got that from Grim Green. You know, if you're a freedom person and you fully believe in everybody has their own individual freedoms that they are allowed by this government, then you see this and you see that these freedoms are being taken away. And it's not fair. We are adults, we are above the age of 21, and we are allowed to make our own decisions. Now, even when I was 21, probably up till about 35, I did not make the best decisions. You know, people are that way. Some people just make stupid decisions or just don't make the best decision. So,
Yeah.
luckily enough, now I have a wife that smartened me up a whole lot and kind of showed me the correct way to do any and everything. So I'm good to go now. But I wanted to, not necessarily trying to change gears, but I have mentioned on here many times about the one shop that's in my town that is selling to minors. Well, they're actually not selling anything anymore.
Uh oh.
The city decided that they would, well, let me take a step back here. The county that I live in has been a dry county forever, as long as I know. It's one of the very few dry counties left in probably the world. I know there's not a lot of them left. Uh, so they found a loophole and it went to the city to vote. So the city where I live voted to become wet. Well, the city decided now they wanted to do a sting operation in all the places that sold alcohol. So they did that. Everything went fine. So then they thought, well, why don't we do it with tobacco? So they went to all the C stores and they went to both of the vape shops. The one vape shop did perfectly fine. The person looked over the age but was not of age, according to their ID. So the one shop did fine. The other shop failed miserably, did not even check the person's ID. So as soon as they walked out with the vapor product, the city police walked in with the person and the vapor product. So that place is now not selling anything at the moment because their doors are closed. Uh,
Mm.
I don't know if the city's going to shut them down for good. Uh, if it was me, it would be a hefty fine to get your license back.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and I mean, I'm talking five figures, at least five figures. I know the state law is only like $300.
Yeah.
So, but I think the I think what it is, your law can be strict, more strict than the state, but you can't be more lenient than the state. It kind of goes the same way
Mm-hmm.
as the government. So I'm hoping that. I mean, I hate to see somebody lose their livelihood, but if you're not going to do it the correct way, then you kind of deserve to lose it.
Yep.
I mean, it's a privilege to own a business. It's not a right.
Yeah. And like I went to a concert last night and this kid walked up. I don't want to call him a kid. He might have been of age, but he said he walked over to the counter where they're selling beer, and he thought just because you had a wristband on, that meant you could buy beer. No, the wristband was for you to get in to the concert. but they were still checking IDs. Well, at least I think. But he had a wristband on, and he walked in and he said, "Oh, well, let me get a Michelob or whatever he was ordering." And they said, "Okay, why don't you see your ID?" They said, "Why didn't you see my ID? I have a wristband." They said, "So we still need to check your ID." He's like, "Oh, I left it in the truck." But he wanted to say, he's like, "Well, I'm 21. I have a wristband on."
Yeah.
But then they said, "Okay, well, where's your ID?" He said, "Oh, I left it in the truck." They said, "Okay, well, how are you 21 and you got in as a 21-year-old, but you don't have your ID?" But I think the wristband was just, okay, yeah, hey, you're in the concert or whatever. You're not VIP. I think you get two different colors or whatever. And he wanted to argue for a little bit. And he's like, "All right, man, whatever, screw y'all," and walked away. He's like, "F y'all, yada yada." They looked at me and they just shook their heads. And the lady's like, "Can I see your ID?" I was like, "Yeah, perfectly fine with that." That's my fiance. "Hey, can I see your ID?" "Yeah, there you go."
Yeah, I'm sure she gets carded all the time because she looks like she's about
Mhm.
14.
And I look young now too. Everyone keeps IDing me. Usually,
Yeah.
like if I go get a beer, they're like, "Eh, whatever." But here lately, ID'd a lot lately, and even before like I shaved, I started getting ID'd a lot lately. And I think everyone's starting to see it, not or like the liquor companies or the liquor stores, tobacco stores, everything. Everyone's starting to see it more of, hey, we actually do need to check IDs.
Hmm.
And every time I went up to the counter, I went up to the same lady every time. Every time, "I'm gonna need to see your ID again. I know you're old enough. I'm fine with that. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sit here and complain and argue. You're doing your job. If this is the way you make your money, and if your boss could fire you because you didn't check my ID and he's standing right there, he's not over here, and someone else tells him, I completely understand. Even if he's not there, I completely understand. It's your job. Your job is to check the ID before you serve someone something that has to be a certain age. I completely understand. I don't mind it. Even if I'm 60 years old and they check my ID, I don't mind it. I just want I want more people to understand that is I'm pretty sure everyone who's a vapor and all this other stuff, I'm pretty sure all or everyone watching and everything understands that. I mean, it's not a big deal. It takes 2 seconds. Pull out your
Yeah.
wallet, your ID. That's it.
Yep.
You
Here you
left
go.
your ID. Yeah, I've actually left my ID at home before. And I'm like, hey, I'm 25 years old. I can tell you my date of birth, but I understand you can't sell it to me.
Right.
There's been a couple times like, all right, you know what, we'll let it slide. We understand, blah blah blah. But there's been a couple times where they're like, hey, well, you're gonna have to go get your ID. I'm fine with that. If I don't have my ID and I need to go get it, I'll go get it
Just
if
a
I
second.
need it that bad. Are you fine? But just do not get mad. One thing I want to stress is don't get mad when people ID, like I've been saying, because I mean it is their job. It is the way they make their money. And if they have to do something to make sure that you're of age, let them do it. If you don't have your ID on you, go home get it. If the product means that much to you, go home get it. Go back up there. That's all I can really say to that. But just make sure we're still making the calls, make sure we're checking the CASA, make sure we're checking the UVA. Just keep up to date on everything. Uh, Anything that y'all are up to date on that we might not be up to date on, please send us an email. I have my email in the link or in the bio. Shane's email is in his also. Just send us an email with it. We might not ever seen it. Ask for our numbers if you want to text it to us, whatever it is. But just make sure, or even social media, message us on social media. We don't mind. I just want to make sure I'm up to date on as much as possible. I ID everyone at my shop. That's great. That's great to see that you ID everyone at your shop. I hope everyone does. I mean, even I'm a regular in my shop. They don't ID me every time. They still ID me most of the time, but they don't ID me every single time. But I like that whenever if it's just me and the guy in there, he's like, whatever, I'm not gonna ID you. You've been in here a couple thousand times probably. I try to go in there at least once a week now. But most times if I'm buying something, he still does. He most times IDs me, which is great. I love that he still IDs me for that. Even but I mean when I'm just in there just talking, hanging out, usually he doesn't ID me unless there's a lot of people in there. But it's just great that even like the local shops, like Shane's local shop, he's been in there a couple hundred times. They still ID him. My shop, like I said, they don't ID me unless I'm buying something most times. If there's a bunch of people in there and other people are hanging out, they'll say, "Hey, man, I need to see your ID. I know you've been in here about 1,000 or so times, but I still need to see it." But if I
Yep.
just go in there by myself and there's no one else around and I'm just talking, not buying anything, he don't really ask for it. But it's
Yeah.
always great to keep that practice though, because you never know. You might see someone, it might be a familiar face that you think you've seen before, but you really haven't, and then they get away with something that could possibly take away your license to sell anything, which
Yep.
would be terrible. And like my local vape shop, that's the only thing they have going for them right now is the vaping, and they have a few CBD products. But I asked them, I was like, "Well, would y'all turn to just straight CBD?" They said people in the area that we live in don't make enough money to be able to afford the CBD stuff. They could buy it here and there every now and then, but it's not like we're in Arlington or Dallas or Fort Worth where they have more range of people with the money who can come
Yeah.
in and buy it. They said we sell a little bit here and there, but it's not like it's our main money maker like it is for the liquids and the mods and everything else.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a good business to be in, to have as a side business. But right
Yep.
now, it's not well known enough to be your sole business. I
Mm-hmm.
know up there in Michigan, Dan and IVC has pivoted to more of a CBD side, but up there, it's more well known. There's a whole lot more people that use it than
Mm-hmm.
where either one of us is. So
Yeah.
it just became legal here less than a year ago. So I mean, of course,
Shit.
in
There's so
Alabama,
many
we're
shops
behind on everything.
there's so many shops around here that are just popping up. Kind of like
Mm-hmm.
how in the vaping industry, how we had all these pop up e liquid manufacturers and everything. That's how it is with CBD now. There's pop up shops everywhere.
Yeah,
All in a little space to rent, I guarantee there's gonna be a CBD shop there real
yeah.
quick. And
Strip malls are filling
I've said
up.
it before. Yeah, and I've said it before. Like I even see it in gas stations now. I see it in vape shops. I see it in nutrition shops, like where you go get protein and BCAAs and creatine and all these other supplements and everything. They're starting to carry CBD in those.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually one where they were selling the CBD vaping liquids, and the only reason why he had those because he thought that they were the tinctures. I said, dude,
Mm.
that's for vaping. He's like, no. He's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. And then he looked at it, he's like, oh crap. Maybe I need to call the distributor guy and have him bring me the right stuff. But I mean, they're popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
But it does suck to the little mom and pop shops who don't know much about it or who are in an area where people won't really purchase it because they're not going to have a backup plan. I always want to say this: make sure you have an opportunity for a backup plan. I can't remember what show it was on YouTube I was watching, but they were saying, hey, if you can go if you could be a Amazon shop or something, or you go buy a crap load of different stupid knickknack things off of Amazon just to stay afloat until all this stuff blows over in the cities or the states that are doing like the 3 and 6 month thing, do that. And I want to agree with that. If there's something where you can buy and you think you could sell within that area, try to do it because try to keep your shop open as long as you can, as long as it's not financially killing you, pretty much. If
Right.
you can still make money off of it and you can still stay afloat for a little bit, do it because I really want to see those shops succeed. And I don't want to see all these shops have to sell everything out, be out a lot of money because you sold everything at, I don't know, a quarter of the price, and then you didn't even make your money back. You didn't even make any money off of it, and then now you're gonna try to go start open your vape shop again whenever all these regulations go through. That's gonna be that's gonna be hard. It's gonna be real hard.
Yeah, and
So just try to stay afloat.
if you're a consumer, don't be the asshole that walks in once a week and goes, "Y'all got everything 75% off yet?" Don't be
Yeah, no,
that guy.
no.
You know.
Like my shop, usually I'll get their house juice if or their house liquid juice, whatever you want to call it. I think we're past that now. Yeah, but I'll go in there. I'll get their house juice whenever it's on their daily deal. If it's something I like, or when they have uh, everything is the daily deal, I'll go in there and I'll pick up a bottle of theirs. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Most times, I mean, there's sometimes the guy doesn't even charge me. He's just like, "Hey, man, you talk about our shop enough. You go even people at your work on YouTube wherever you talk about our shop enough here. Just take it." But I still try to pay him every time because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, no. This is y'all's livelihood. He's like, dude, it's not much. I'm like, no, still, it's y'all's livelihood. I want to make sure y'all are making money. And I mean, even if the shop there had to shut down and they're selling everything for 70% off, I would go in there and help them out as much as possible
Mm-hmm.
and try to buy as much as I could just to help them. But I wouldn't do it just because it's a 70% off. Even if they said, hey, we're not doing any deals, but we're about to have to shut down, I would go in there and I would try to buy as much as possible just because it's
Right.
me helping out a friend, helping out someone who's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure, like you, with that shop that might be shut down now, say if they gave them, okay, you can reopen, you can sell all the rest of your vaping stuff, but you have to have it sold within a week, and they do everything 70% off. I
Yeah.
guarantee you won't go in there and buy none because you don't want that guy to have any of your money because he
Nope.
was doing it for the wrong reasons in the first place.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I bought a an RDA from a friend of ours that is a creator. I'm not gonna mention any names, but when I got it, it had some like funkies in the where you take the 510 pin out.
Mm-hmm.
And I took pictures of it and I sent it to him and I was like, "Hey, I just want you to know about this, just in case you get this from somebody else that you're already ahead of it." And he was like, "Oh, I'll send you another one." And I'm like, "No, this is fine. I'm just
Yeah.
wanting you to know I can clean this out. I'm just wanting you to know that this is there, and it may be on your other ones." And that's just how I am. I
Yeah.
don't want anything for free. Everything I've gotten from him, I've bought just simply because that's how he makes his living.
Mm-hmm.
If he sends me something or anybody sends me anything, yeah, for free, I have to not know about it because if I know about it, I'm gonna try to pay you for it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just how I am. Just don't do well with free things.
Yeah. And believe me, I've done the same thing you have. I mean, pretty much anything I've gotten from someone I've known that's a creator, if there's a scratch on it, like I've even had an RDA that had a huge scratch on it. And
Mm-hmm.
I've got one that had a little scratch or a little nick or one that was dirty. I just tell them, hey, this is what happened. And they're, oh, okay, well, just send it back or you keep it. I'll send you another one. No, it's fine. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
just want you to know about it.
if it has a scratch, I'm hard on my mods, I guess. I drop them all the damn time for some reason. It's gonna end up with a scratch on it. So I mean, it's not like it's a big deal.
Yeah,
But I'm not a photographer. I'm not gonna sit there and take amazing pictures of it, and I need it to look pristine and perfect. It's something I'm gonna use. I'm gonna put it to use. So I mean, if it has a scratch, it's whatever.
yeah.
As long as it still works, I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
If it was broken and I couldn't use it, then yeah, I'm gonna say, hey man, yeah, I'll send it to you. Just send me one back, and or you could fix this one, whatever it is, whatever. That was like with the Dreamer. I bought it on a buy sell trade, and whenever I saw Stan in person, he actually helped me figure out what was wrong with it.
Yeah,
It was like a little piece. I think it was like a little piece of metal that shaving that kept causing the little spring on the inside to mess up
mm-hmm.
and burn out. So I mean, even like that, I'm not gonna. He tried to say, "Here, I'll just give you a whole new one." I'm like, no, dude, I bought this off a buy sell trade. I'm just wondering if you can help me fix it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not trying to get anything new. I just want you to help me.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like that's how I am. I don't want handouts. I mean, I like free stuff.
Oh
Don't get
yeah.
me wrong. I love free stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't want handouts whenever I know it's from people who that's how they make their living or that's how they make their extra dollar to stay afloat or so that
Exactly.
way they're not staying paycheck to paycheck or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something like that, like even like with liquid, there was a time where I got something from Vapetasia. I can't remember where. I think I ordered it online from a company, and I messaged or I emailed the company that I ordered it from, and I emailed Vapetasia and said, "Hey, I don't expect y'all to send me anything. I'm just letting you know this batch number of this liquid of this nicotine tasted funky. It didn't taste right. It didn't taste normal. Did
Mm-hmm.
y'all change the formula, or did y'all maybe have a bad batch?"
Yeah.
That's all I said. They said, "Oh, well, I think we took out some stuff in that one, but we it might have been a bad batch. We'll send you." I'm like, "No, I'll still vape it, or I'll give it to someone to vape, whoever
Yeah.
likes it. I'm just letting you know you had something wrong with your product. It's whatever. I've already paid the money for it. I don't expect anything else."
Right.
But like Shane said, please, like I guess we're all getting back to that. Don't go into the stores that you know are closing down or might have to close down or are on the verge of closing. Say, hey, is everything on sale yet?
Yeah.
Take advantage of those deals whenever you can, but don't take advantage of them only because, oh crap, they have all these liquids on sale. Take advantage of them as in, okay, I'm helping someone out. Yeah, you're still doing the same thing, you're still paying the same amount or whatever, but don't think about it as, oh, dude, this is such a great deal. Like if I find a great deal, I'll usually put it on the Discord discounts or I'll send it to Shane and say, hey man, look at this.
Yeah,
But I'm not gonna sit there and say, hey, I'm just gonna order a crap load of this even though I don't like it just because it's all going on sale. Like the other day, I bought a whole bunch from IVC because I love their products and I love that their stance behind their products and what all they do for the industry. I bought a whole lot just because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this just because they're selling it for they have a good deal on it. So let me open up my taste buds. Let me try some stuff I've never tried, and it also helps them clear out stock that they need to get cleared out. And I'm not doing it just because hey, it's on sale. Screw it. I'm just gonna buy it even though I don't like it.
yeah,
No, because most of the time, liquids, even if I don't like them, I don't just throw them away or tell someone, hey, I don't like this, don't buy it. I give it to someone else who has that taste for that. I
yeah.
got a
Because
buddy who has a completely different taste than me, and every time I try something, I'm like, man, I don't like this. Here, try it. He's like, dude, I love it. Here,
yeah,
here's.
every taste is subjective, and that's what I tell people all the time. We both have tried the hazelnut toffee sugar cookie. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember what it's called right now. Uh,
Parade maker.
yeah, and there's some people that are like, hey, it's okay. I like it every once in a while. That's something I could sit here and vape the entire bottle of and never think twice.
Mm-hmm.
And some people just hit it every once in a while. And you know,
Yeah.
and one thing I'll tell you, if you like it now, but you don't like it a little bit later, take a break from it and vape something else, and then go back to it because you'll get that same sensation again that you got when you first loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I've done that with multiple liquids. This Bule Bolu, it was so good when I got it, and then a couple days later, I was like, it tastes different than when I got it. But then, I took a break from it, let it steep a little longer,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, now it's fabulous. I can't put it down. And with taste and liquid and everything, it is so subjective that you just have to take your time with it. Don't ever judge it on the first two or three vapes, especially if you're doing a rebuildable because you got to break the cotton in.
Uh huh.
Uh, and use good cotton. Don't use some cheap ass cotton, please,
Yeah.
because you will never like anything using cheap cotton.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll admit to that too.
Yeah.
I used to vape whenever I first started vaping. That was back before they had all this cotton bacon and all that. That's back when you had to go to Walmart, buy cotton balls, or you try to find something different and get unbleached or boil your cotton. Believe me, I've had vapes with bad cotton. And when I got back into vaping, I was like, oh, I don't have any cotton bacon right now. Let me just go buy. Let me just use some cotton balls. And I was like, oh my god, how'd I vape this shit?
Yeah.
It is nasty.
Yeah. With the good stuff that's out there now, it's a completely different world.
Yeah, like I have a couple companies that I love and I want to keep using. Every now and then, I'm like, you know what, this cotton's on sale. Let me go ahead and try it. I'll just try it out, see if it's any good. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if it isn't, I'll give it to someone else.
Yeah.
I bought like 4 bags the other day because they were $2 each, and I was like, yeah, this cotton sucks.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have
that's
to get
like
the liquid on the actual coil. If you don't, it's not gonna soak it up. So I'm like, man, yep, this is gonna go to someone who needs it.
yeah. I bought some of these handmade coils from Coalology. The coils are fabulous, but it comes with these little like cotton threads.
Uh,
But this cotton sucks.
mm-hmm,
Uh, the flavor that it gives you is completely different than I've been using Cotton Bacon Prime for a long time,
mm-hmm.
and the flavor off of that is similar, but it's totally different at the same time, and
Yeah,
it's just not the same quality of cotton.
yeah. You'll
Uh,
have some cottons where you have more than a day of break in, and it's like, oh my god, I
yeah,
gotta vape crappy stuff for a whole day just to make it break in.
yeah, and like I'll pull out crappy cotton, and I tried to put that in there one time, and I'm like, oh, this is worse than the crappy cotton. It's this cotton's like a week old, and it still tastes better than this brand new cotton.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
yeah, but make sure you get quality to put in there, please,
yeah. And
because
speaking of that too, help out the coil makers. I don't. I mean, I haven't really been making coils lately. I'm not telling you to go out there and support me, but like M Turk, AJ Holland,
Mm-hmm.
all those people. Who's another one I really like?
Band
Coil
builds.
or yeah, Bandit. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
if you some Bandit builds, just listen to them. Woo.
Yeah. Mine's the
Uh, yeah. Oh yeah.
that's those
And
Fralians.
even what's Coil Clout? I really like his coils. I need to order some more, but man, support those people because they're especially if they're helping the fight like M Turk, AJ, and all them. They are out. They're trying to get to any and every single band hearing and all that. They're not even in some of those states, and they're driving out to them or they're flying out to them. Try to help those people out as much as possible because they're not getting paid. I mean, they might be getting paid by some of their sponsors to go out there and do that, but I guarantee you even if they are getting paid to go out there and they're getting their stuff paid for, that's still time that they don't get to go make their coils and sell their coils. They can still
Mm-hmm.
sell them, but that puts them behind on everything. Like you see, whenever M Turk comes back from going to a vape show or something, he doesn't do anything besides build coils for like a whole week straight just to get caught back up. That's the same thing with all these people. Whenever they go out to these band hearings, that's a whole day that they didn't get to do their job to make their money.
Yep.
So please make sure you help support those people, even if it's liquid manufacturers or designers, whatever it is. Help those people out because those are the people who we need to make sure we're helping the most, and especially like we said, those small shops. One thing I love to always say is support those who supported you whenever you were on your journey to first stop quitting cigarettes or tobacco products in general. Support those people because those are the people who sat there and helped you, and okay, they're the people who you gave a headache whenever you first started pretty
Yeah.
much. I don't know if I like this, or let me try this, let me try that, or can I see this, can I see that. Support those people. Don't forget about those people. And I know we get such good deals online. I still go to my local vape shop and I can buy the same bottle they have there for under $10 sometimes, and I go there and buy it for $20, $25. I'm like, you know what, I'll support y'all. I
Yeah.
like y'all. I'll do it. But there's a company I don't like, and I go to their vape shop. I won't buy it. But man, I can get the shit online for $10. I go to my vape shop and I'll go buy it for the same price. I don't mind that. But just make sure we're supporting those people, like we've been saying, because especially we never know what could be around the corner. Hell, next thing you know, Alabama and Texas could be the next people to do an all-out ban, and we have no clue.
Yep.
They could just, hey, we found this one little thing in the research. We're going to ban everything until we figure something out.
Yep.
You never know. So just make sure you're helping support them. Don't wait till it's too late. And like Shane said, don't be the person who walks in, hey, is everything 70% off?
Yeah.
And when they say no, you walk out and, oh, okay, okay, call me when it's that time.
Yeah. And shameless plug here for someone that we both adore and respect. Stan is having a huge sale on his site.
Yes.
If you are uh, a regulated vapor and you're wanting to get into mechanical mods, number one, know your Ohm's law and your battery safety. If you've already done that, don't buy the newest thing out there. The tried and true Dreamer is still one of the best mech mods out there. And, you know, that's coming from me. I have Dreamers, Keens, Overlord, Unicorn. I have two Unicorns and a Bathala, the ugly, the fugly mech. Uh, anything that he's designed is 40% off right now on his
Mhm.
site, lucidrda.com. So I don't know why he's doing it, but he is having this huge sale. So if you want to get into that, or if you're a stand supporter, go over there and get you something. I
Mhm.
ordered a stack section and another constant contact button just because I wanted it. I was going to order
Yeah.
it anyway, but it just happened to be 40% off, and I'll take it.
Oh
So
yeah.
that was just a little shameless plug. So,
Yeah. Like Shane said, the Dreamer, the Keen is amazing. If you want something bigger, get it. If you don't want something bigger, or if you want something you can maybe hybrid and art it onto, think about that. This right here, I have two Dreamers. I probably was about to pick up two more today when I saw that sale. Um, I pick this up more than I pick up my $300 purge, more than I pick up custom mods that I have or mods that like I love and they're my all day. I pick up my Dreamer probably since I've been vaping, since I started vaping again and I started vaping mechs. The Dreamer is my number one go to on anything. I'll put a Dreamer up against anything.
Yeah. And you want to go
Yeah.
matchy? If you're a matchy person, he makes the mod and the ardent to match, and it's a hybrid connection. So you get the cap and the mod, and everything will match. This one's a little bit not as worn as this. Is the reason that it looks a little bit different color.
Mm-hmm.
But
Make sure y'all go support him. But like I said, the Dreamer, I Shane's got some pretty expensive mechs. I have some pretty expensive mechs and some regulated mods. I have a crap load of mechs. I pick up the Dreamer more than I pick up any other thing.
mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know what it is. It hits hard, the form factor, everything about it. It looks good. And I think even on one of the websites, it's still one of the, or like if you look up top 10 mechs, I think the Dreamer is still number,
Yeah.
or like number one on a lot of them.
Yeah,
So
2018 it was still number one. So I
I
don't
think
know
it's still
about
number
this
one
year.
on some of them.
Yeah, and it may be because I mean
Yeah.
it's a like I said, it's tried and true. Uh, and he does have a constant contact button for it now. So I mean, there's
Silver contacts if you want silver
yep,
contacts, silver springs. You can make it to where it's not just a regular mech. You can make it to where it's a hard hitting mech, or you can have it as a regular mech. You can do a lot with the Dreamer.
yeah,
Like Shane said, constant contact buttons for him now. There's a lot you can do with them. So if
yeah,
y'all want to look at them, go look at them for sure. I would.
yeah.
If you want something super light, go get you an aluminum one. This thing is like a feather.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have the aluminum and that white copper, and I love both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah. But also, one of the things I wanted to bring up, and this is something I kind of talked to Stan about whenever I was out in Houston, is if it's almost like their websites are almost like a vape shop also. So if you might have to spend an extra $10 to buy something from him in the States, do that before you go out and buy it from like 3F, 3A. I
yeah,
mean, there's some things like I bought an intake dual from 3F, I think it was. Only reason why I did that, and believe me, I hate the shipping on it. I hate waiting forever. The only reason I did that is because no one in the States had a black one.
yeah,
That's the only reason. So that's the only reason why I did that. But if someone else would have had it in the States, I would have bought it from one of them for $5 more and had to pay shipping or whatever. I wouldn't have mind that. But I think I got it for like $22 on 3F. And I think in the States like 35. I would have paid the extra and the shipping, but no one had the black one. But I mean, that also does help support them. So I mean, even if you're buying the Dreamer from China or whatever, yeah, that still helps support them, but not as much. Go help support them on their websites and stuff, like Clown, like Stan, all those
yep,
people. Go help support them for sure, because that does really help them out. I mean, yeah, they might have more money than most people. This might not be just so that way they can stay afloat because they have regular jobs, but this also does help them with their family and with what they want in life. So if you're supporting them by buying their products, buy it from them if you can. That's one
yep,
of the things I want to bring up too, because I mean that just shows even more support. Because believe me, there's some stuff I bought from Stan that I could have bought a little bit cheaper from China and stuff, but I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'll buy it from him. I don't mind. Or even
yep,
if there's other stuff on his website, it still gives him a little bit of extra money. I don't mind that.
yeah,
But just try to help out as many people as you can within the industry, especially in the times that we're going through. And just let's just keep. We need to keep fighting. We need to keep doing what we can to try to beat this ban. And I want to keep bringing it up. Make sure we're going out there to or trying to get out there to Washington. If you can't, do what you can. If you can only donate $1, 5, 10, $1,000, whatever you can do, donate it because it's helping people out. It's not like it's not going to get put to use. Don't think, oh well, they've got a good amount of money. There's nothing that they can use this for. Hell, you never know. Your money might be able to feed everyone there. Or
yep,
it might be going towards feeding everyone there. It might be going towards getting people there. It might be going towards the stage, or it might be going towards paying for something. Because believe me, they've paid for a lot of the things with this money already. if you watch the Legion, there's still a lot that they want to do. They're working off their budget. If they have this much port, they're gonna do this. If they have a little bit extra, hey, they're not gonna take some of that money and pocket it. They're gonna put that money to use. So definitely make sure you do that. If you want to donate to CASA, the BTA, wherever you want to donate to them. A lot of those people are working for free right now. It might not be their main job, but a lot of people are out there using their time, which is money, and they're just using it to try to help someone out. If you want to donate and it gives them a little couple extra dollars to help people out, use it. Use your extra money wisely. And also make sure you're buying stuff wisely. Don't go out there and buy some crappy stuff. Go out there and buy the good stuff. Make sure you're doing your stuff right out there. If you know someone who's making their own liquids and you know that they're doing it great, do it or buy it. But if there's someone out there who you know is kind of shady, don't go out there and buy from them. If there's a company who's not doing advocacy, don't go out there and buy from them.
Yep.
Might be your favorite liquid, but hey, I guarantee you that same flavor profile, someone else has it who's doing advocacy right now. So there's
Mm-hmm.
not a company out there who's giving a crap about the industry, then they're not in it for the right reasons.
And don't ever buy anything from Uncle Donnie's trunk,
Yeah,
whatever you do.
yeah. Mhm. Believe me, I got Texas is not a legal marijuana state, and I've got a lot of friends who use those THC cartridges. And as soon as I heard about all this stuff, I texted, messaged all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You ever get one, I want you to send you a picture of it to me.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you're still safe. Yeah. If it's something you think you need or you need to use or whatever, you use it just to sleep or you use it to get high, whatever. I want to know what it is because I care about you.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anyone get sick and die from this because some people who I've heard their stories was they they used one a year ago and it's just now hitting them. It's just now making them sick.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, I've talked to plenty of people who've seen. Yeah, I've heard, or I think I've had one of those before. I'm like, oh crap. My man, for now on, whatever you get, make sure you know what it is because
Yeah.
there's a lot of shady stuff going on right now.
Yeah. Make sure you take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
and like we've said, it's Washington D.C., your state, everybody else. You
Yep.
know, you have to make sure not just with phone calls and letters and stuff like that, but just in general. You know, I'm a diabetic, so I have to make sure that I have my medicine every day, that I eat only what I need to eat because I have to take care of myself. And that needs to go for everybody, not just if you have a medical condition or anything like that, but don't put yourself at risk because you're just not thinking everything through. So,
Yeah.
and I'm a freedom guy. If you want to use THC products, that's on you. But I also want to make sure it's safe for you because we care. Not
Mm-hmm.
because that's what's hurting our industry. I don't want anybody to think that, but we do care, and that's just how we are. As a person and a big part of the vaping community, I like to think. Well, not really a big part, but I do the part that I can do, and so in that avenue, we have to show how much we care about everybody else because it can't just be about me. I want to vape. I don't care if Jay gets to vape, but I want to vape. We can't do that. It has to be we care if both of us get to vape.
Yep. And we gotta always keep thinking about. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. Me and Shane, we're gonna be okay. If all this goes to hell and it's banned everywhere, believe me and Shane will be okay. So I'm not worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Shane isn't either. Because
No.
I mean, I probably got a stock of liquid and mods to last me uh, probably at least 2 years. Probably
Yep.
more than that. I've got a crap load of liquid in the last couple months. Uh, but believe me, we're not worried for ourselves. We're worried for the people out there who one day get that hair and you know what? I want to make a switch. I'm tired of smelling like ass. I'm
Yeah.
tired of my food tasting bad. And actually, I got a story on that. The lady I've been helping out, or there's a guy at my work. I've been helping his mom with vaping and everything. She's not so into it yet. So I'm like, here, you know what? I'll give you 3 bottles that I don't use of liquid. If she needs a tank, just make her buy her own coils, whatever. I'll give you 3 bottles of liquid till she says, okay, yes, this is helping me. I want to keep doing this. Then I'll tell her, okay, here's some websites, here's some stores you can go to. Go buy your own products now.
Yeah.
I'm helping her out. And he said to me, thank you so much. Not only because of her health, he said, but her food tastes so much better now. I said, what do you mean? He said, I don't know what it was. Maybe her taste what buds were off from all the cigarettes she was smoking, but everything was always over seasoned, and I
Yeah.
hated it. Everything was too salty. Everything was too sweet. Everything was yada yada. He said she started making her food again, how she makes it, how she used to make it, and he said everything is just grandma's cooking again.
Yeah.
He said it
It
tastes
makes
just
a
like grandma's
huge
cooking.
difference.
I was like, that's awesome. I love to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah. Your taste
Mm-hmm.
buds,
And he said,
your sense of smell. I'll smell. There's like we've talked about it before. There's still people that we work with that smoke, and it's so strong and so bad. And I still think so thankful every day that I don't smell like that anymore.
yep.
But yeah, I mean, tasting food, smelling things. I mean, it's a totally different world now.
Mm-hmm. And he actually, or his mom actually got his aunt off of cigarettes now because of that. And she, the other day, whenever I gave him another bottle to give to her, she had a pack of cigarettes sitting next to her, and he said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna take these now as a little joke because he said the last time he did it, he said this old church lady cussed him out,
Yeah.
and he said, oh, well, I ain't gonna let her do that again." So he did it as a joke. Haha, I'm okay. I'm gonna take these cigarettes now. She said, "Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Take them.
Mm-hmm.
Throw them away. I don't care." She's like, "I only bought one pack. I didn't buy a carton because I knew Jay was gonna get me that juice eventually."
Yeah.
And he said, "Okay, are you sure?" He said, "Yeah." She said, "Do whatever you want with them." He said he went to the trash in front of her, broke all of them up, crumbled them, dropped them, and she didn't even like look back. She just, whatever, just kept started vaping.
Wow.
And I told him, whenever she can do that, that's whenever it's a different changer. So
Mm-hmm.
I sent him websites. He said he's gonna start buying it, and I just said, "Hey, just if there's ever a liquid you have a question about that you don't know about the flavor profile or whatever, just look it up." I was like, believe me, eventually she'll have a flavor profile where she likes custards, or there might be like a tobacco flavor she likes, or fruits. Like right now, she's loving all the fruit flavors I've been giving her.
Yeah.
I was giving her ones that were really harsh for me, and she's really been liking them, I guess, because of the harshness. And I told him, I was like, I have a whole list of liquids that are harsh that you could start buying her, and then eventually start getting her off of those and onto some other stuff if she wants.
Yeah.
But these harsher ones have really been working for her, and they don't really work for me. I don't really like them. I take 2 hits, I'm like, yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's giving me hiccups, and every time I try to blow out or inhale, I get the hiccups, and it sucks. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, screw this.
Yeah. Oh, I know that feeling. And before fruits were a little tougher because back when I tried vaping the first time because there wasn't sub on. So
Yeah.
everything was, 12, 16, 18, even 24 milligram. And
Mm-hmm.
24 milligram on a fruit would knock you in the freaking dirt simply
Yep.
because it hit your throat so hard. Even though you were vaping, above an ohm, it was still tough. So,
Yep.
whenever I got back into vaping, even if it was sub ohm the second time, and I was like, no, I'm staying away from fruit. I'm strictly dessert. So, which, helped me not eat as much sugar. So, which, helped health. So, and
Yeah.
that triggered something in me whenever you said that. I wonder if there's a link between smoking and higher cholesterol. Or well, cholesterol and blood pressure. Because if
Probably.
you're adding more and more salt for taste, simply because you can't taste it
Mm-hmm.
because of your smoking and your taste buds, I wonder how many smokers also have high cholesterol and blood pressure.
That's a really good question. That's something that'd be really good to research.
Mm-hmm.
I,
That
I would
just
I
kind
would
of,
think there would probably be something too.
yeah.
That
I just wonder if there is a correlation there. and I want to look into it to try to find out because there's another plus for vaping. You know, if you vape, you might be able to lower your cholesterol.
Yeah, I mean, I and that's the thing right there. Like the all of the harm reduction, everything. Like I've brought it up before, where like okay, you're diabetic, so you use stuff like this to help you not eat those foods.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends who are bodybuilders who vape zero nicotine during contest because it keeps them from going crazy from not eating any sugars or anything because they can still get the flavor that they want without
Right.
having to eat it. And I mean, I know that's not the best reason to vape or anything, but there's I've seen people use vaping for tons and tons of different reasons, and it's not even I used to smoke. It's I wanted to get off of sugars, I wanted to get off of sweets, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it helps your teeth, it helps your I mean that like say if you don't want to eat sweets no more, it's obviously going to help your teeth. It's going to help your health. It's going to help everything just by you saying, okay, I want to vape some fruit flavors at zero nicotine, or I
Yeah.
want to vape some dessert flavors. So I mean that's a health thing right there. And I mean there's so many different ways. I always say that there's so many different ways vaping can help, and every time we talk about one, it just brings up another, it brings up another, and another, and another. I mean, this is just awesome. And honestly, I love helping people, especially like this lady who's 60, almost 70 years old. I love helping her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind me spending money out of my pocket and giving it to a buddy of like a flavor I didn't like, or he's like, hey, just he always tells me anything in your junk drawer, just give it to me.
Yeah.
He's, I'll pay you for it. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to use it. I've already paid for it. There's no reason for you to pay me for it. He's like, well, it's a full bottle. I tried it. I didn't like it. Here. I was like, if not, it's going to sit there. I'm going to give it to someone else or it's going to go in the trash.
Yeah.
I hate throwing stuff away, so I always try to give it to someone because someone can. Someone always can get some use out of something you didn't like. So I mean,
Exactly.
there's always ways to help out, and that's one way I love helping out is giving away my old things. Like I used to try to sell all my old mods. Now I'm just like, screw it, I'll give it to someone.
Yeah.
I had my fun with it. I liked it, or I bought it just for review and ended up not liking it.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I'll give it to someone else, and they can like it.
Yeah.
Or if it's they really love and they want more than one of, hey, here, I have one, take it.
Yeah.
I love doing that because it's one of my ways of giving back to the industry. I'm helping someone else out now, so now someone else in the industry can make money off of them, which I'm not trying to say this is all for making money, but it can I can start leaning them towards the people I like. Okay,
Yeah.
hey, well, you like these liquids that I was giving you, I bought them from these people. Now you can go to those people and you can spend your money there.
Yep.
I like doing that because it helps people in the long run and it helps people's health.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, helping older people out is one of my favorite things because it just shows that someone like my age, 25 years old, out here vaping, blowing clouds and everything, I'm helping out a 50, 60, 70-year-old person, and they're out there vaping now for their health reasons. I love seeing that. I love seeing that. It's awesome to see someone older vaping. I don't care if it's a pod system, a closed pod. I mean, I've been seeing so many jewels here lately. I used to not really pay too many attention to them, but here I've been seeing so many people vaping on jewels. I'm like, you know what? You're vaping. Good job.
Yeah.
You're not smoking cigarettes. Like I have a buddy who I help vape, and he said, "Oh well, I only smoke cigarettes on the weekends now." Like, well, why don't you just still vape on the weekends? I mean, yeah, you've done a huge change, huge change. You went from a pack a day to not like maybe a half a pack on the weekend. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great. Instead of 7 to 14 packs throughout a whole week, now you're vaping half a pack. I
Yeah.
don't mind that. I'm still gonna ask the question of, well, I mean, why do you need the cigarettes on the weekend? Why can't you just vape?
Yeah.
But I'm fine with you just doing that. But I'm still gonna ask that question. Hey, man, well, just vape on the weekend. You'll be fine. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it is great to just even see people make small changes. Like even if it's okay, I put down one cigarette a day from doing this. I now only pick up 10 instead of 11 a day.
Yeah.
That
Well,
that's something that
I had a lady come up to me not too long ago that actually works for me now, and she said, "I tried to vape." She's a very heavy smoker,
mm,
and she was like, "How did you get used to it?" And I was like, well, it took time. I said, I was a dual user for almost 6 months. And she
Yeah,
looked
you're
at me and
different from me. Yeah.
she's like, I never really thought about it. And I was like, just because you have one doesn't mean you can't try to wean yourself off of cigarettes. I said, it's
Hmm.
not. I said, you don't have to just buy a vape and quit smoking. I said, it's
Hmm.
different for everybody. I said, I finally got to a point where I said, okay, now I'm going to just do every other time I go outside, I'll smoke. And then it was, okay, now every 2 times I go outside, I'm going to vape. Now every
Hmm.
3 times I go out, I'm going to vape. And I built up from there. And that's how I transitioned myself over. Uh, Kudos to the people that can go to the store, pick up oh, it's right here, pick up a pod system, walk out of the store, throw away their cigarettes, and only use this.
Hmm.
Kudos to those people. I'm not one of them. I had to wean myself off, and I was a 2 pack a day smoker for 24 years.
Hmm.
So it took me 5.5, 6 months to finally wean myself off. Well, that was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. Uh, I walked over there to her truck Saturday to let her know what time we were leaving and whatever, and she was like, "Oh, look at this!" And she pulls out a Novo, and she was
Nice.
like, "I want to try it again." And I was like, "Good." And I told her, I said, "Just try to wean yourself. Take a,
Yeah.
if you really have to have a cigarette, have a cigarette.
Hmm.
But then next time you want one, just try to use the vape and see if you can't get satisfied off of it." I said, if you
Yeah.
can't, come to me. I'll talk it through you, and we can either go up on your nicotine or something like that, or try another flavor. And
Hmm.
she was like, well, I think I'll get it this time. She's like, thanks so much for helping me. And I was like, this is on you. You're the
Hmm.
one that went out and bought it. I didn't tell you to go buy it. I said, I love it that you did, and I love it that you're trying it. I said, but, like I said, if you have any questions, don't just put it down. Come to me first. And she's like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. And, that, man, that just made me feel good. Because, that she's 47 years old. You can tell she smoked for a long time. She's got that, raspy
Hmm.
womanly voice. And it's like, that sure is attractive. But
Hmm.
it's mainly from the smoking. That could clear up. Uh,
Hmm.
but,
Oh yeah.
it made me feel really good that she actually did it, you know,
Hmm.
without any, I didn't preach to her or anything like that. I just kind of told her my story. And then all of a sudden she shows up with a Nova. So, I mean,
Hmm.
it's great to see that. And, I hope that for anybody out there that's been kind of, going out and actually doing something, that helps you, because there is people out there that will listen. And
Yeah.
you never know when you can make an impact on somebody's life, when you
Yeah.
can actually look at somebody and say, hey, because I vaped, this person quit smoking, not because
Hmm.
of me, but because I quit. They saw me, and now they're quitting.
Hmm.
There's really not a better feeling other than children and wives and all that other stuff, but there's not a better feeling than
And
actually seeing that.
yeah, and I mean, I think I dual used maybe for a week whenever I was dipping. I think I dipped. I slowly got off of dipping. I'm pretty sure like I didn't dual use very long if I did. But I mean, it is hard. Believe me. I mean, I wasn't a smoker. I smoked for maybe 1 year. It wasn't like I was a a heavy smoker for years and years and years like everyone else who I hear their story. I wasn't a heavy smoker like that. I was a pack a day, if that, whenever I did smoke. So I mean, it always is great to hear whenever you hear those people whenever they're like, oh well, why'd you switch? Oh, well, I dipped. Well, I mean, that's not really the same. I'm like, well, hey, it helped me get off of something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if even if it's like, okay, well, it's not going to kill your lungs. Well, I mean, you still can get mouth cancer. You can still get cancer everywhere else from dipping, and then you can also start losing your teeth at a young age from it.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons why I stopped doing it. I started seeing my gums go down on my teeth, and I was like, you know what, screw this, I can't do this no more. I don't want to be 25, 30 years old and already missing teeth and looking like a hillbilly. Sorry if that offended anyone, but I don't want to be the person who's really young and already missing teeth.
Yeah.
Believe me, I don't want to be that person. And I I mean, that was one of the main reasons why I made the switch, and it's just it always makes me feel like a counselor, I guess, whenever I'm trying to help someone.
Yeah.
Like if I see someone who I've helped or I gave them something, they're sitting outside smoking, they're like, I guarantee you're getting mad. I'm like, no, I mean, as long as you're still vaping, as long as but if you're just completely putting it down and you're just gonna only smoke, I would like the thing back so that way I can try to give it to someone else who wants to do it. But I
Right.
mean, I always want to see people just make those little wins inside themselves. If it's a little win for them where they're smoking one less cigarette or a pack less of cigarettes a day, I'm perfectly fine with that as long as if they're still smoking. Because I mean, for me, I wasn't a dual user very long. If I was, for people like Shane, it took them a couple months. That's why I always tell people. They're like, "Well, whenever you started vaping, you just switched right away. I mean, I guarantee it makes you mad." I'm like, "No, it's not something that's gonna hit with you automatically because your body's so used to the cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, you'll start noticing more things." And my local vape shop, they actually have a sign in their shop where it shows what happens after like a week, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a
Yeah.
year, 6 months of what all happens within your body once you stop smoking and you start vaping, or once you just stop smoking in general, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to take a picture of that and show that to everyone whenever I show them. They're like, dang, I am starting to notice these things. I'm like, yeah, I guarantee you. Like my buddy with his mom, she went and she took all of her clothes, threw away a lot of her clothes and all of her good clothes she took them and washed them 3 times to get the cigarette smell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
He said that she went through her closet and like deep cleaned it just because everything smelled like cigarette smoke even after being washed. He said that she's got her car detailed like 10 times just to try to get the smoke out because she can't stand that smell no more.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. It's just trying to get the people who are kind of stubborn to where they're like, well, I don't have it, so I guess I'm gonna smoke cigarettes. I have
Yeah.
friends who do that. Oh, well, I mean, my coils were bad, so I couldn't. I just got a pack of cigarettes. I'm like, man, if you want a pack of cigarettes, you're not gonna offend me. Smoke them. It's fine. Whatever. It's your choice.
Yeah.
But if it's because of that, call me. I will help you. I will help you with liquid, whatever it is. Just let me know because I want to help you. I want to see you do what you want to do. If you want to vape, then vape. If you want to smoke, smoke. It's your life,
Yeah.
your body. But if you want to be healthier, I will help you with that. That's what I
Yeah.
always tell them.
Because we talk all the time about harm reduction. Well, you
Mm-hmm.
smoking, if like me, I smoked 2 packs a day for 24 years. If that last year I went down to a pack a day, that's harm reduction. It's not great,
Mm-hmm.
but it is harm reduction. So we can't be judgmental about those people that are dual users for a little while because they're making an attempt at harm reduction.
Yep.
So I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm going to judge for for trying, or well, being a dual user because you are making an effort to help yourself. Uh, uh, Lady Louisiana was the same way. She was like, I don't want to tell anybody, but I smoke every once in a while. And I was like, it's okay. You're
Yeah.
making an effort. You're not
Mm-hmm.
smoking every day while your vape sits on your desk and you're not doing anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little different, but you're making that effort to better yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
that deserves praise. Please thank everybody that does that. Hey, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're making this choice. If you're a former smoker like me, or a former tobacco user, let's just use it that way. A lot of people that use tobacco now they use vaping. So, any former tobacco user that sees someone making that effort to change their life, make sure you notice it. Make sure you tell them, hey, I see they're trying to make a change. That's great. Uh,
Yep.
and, you know, one thing a lot of people have to understand is there's different kind of smokers. You know, I didn't quit smoking before then because I loved smoking. I loved the feeling. The It calmed me. If I had a bad day, I'd have a cigarette and I'd feel better. Not it's all here. It's all in my head, but I just felt better. I was, it was a de-stressor at the
Yeah.
time. And then, that vaping kind of slowly took over. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. If you're just a smoker for the nicotine, I think it's easier for vaping to take over. Where me, it was a lot of other things that went in with it. And Clown said I was a 2 pack a day, bordering on that third pack. I started at 24 milligram, and it took me forever to reduce it, but I finally made it. See, improvement. You know, that's what I want to tell all the people that work for me. If you're making improvements at your job, you're doing better than you did yesterday. It's an improvement. It will be
Hmm.
noticed. So, take that over to vaping. You're stopping, slowing down even with the combustible cigarettes and ramping up with the vaping. So, it's an improvement. That's all we have to look for. So,
Hmm.
I mean, it's hard to explain the feeling that you get when you see somebody make that change and they're putting forth this much effort into trying to do it. It's just, I
Hmm.
mean, it's a proud papa moment where you're just standing there with a smile on your face. I'm so proud of you for doing this.
Yep. And
So,
that was like whenever my buddy told me his mom didn't even care that he took her cigarettes. I was like, he was like, dude, you look so excited. I'm like, that's a good step right there. I was like, yeah, the first time she cussed you out,
mhm,
the first or the second time she was like, whatever, go ahead. She's
yeah,
like, I knew I didn't really want to go back to smoking, so I only bought 1 pack instead of a whole carton like I usually would. And I was like, that's great right there. That's awesome. I
yeah.
love that.
I still have one cigarette in my car, in a pack,
Oh yeah,
in the glove box, and it's been there since I think August 14th of 2018.
that's
And I
great.
just put it there to know it was there. At
Hmm.
that point in time, I knew I had a cigarette, and so if I needed it, it was right there. And as long as I
Hmm.
knew it was there, and it was all up here, I know it was, but as long as I knew it was there, I was okay with it.
Hmm. Oh yeah, and I mean it's just great seeing people do little steps, and I mean we kind of like what we talked about with the little wins we get, the little wins we get from all this advocacy. We got to celebrate them. Now it's not time to say, okay, yeah, we're good. Time to stop doing advocacy, or oh yeah, we're good. I guess I can stop vaping now. No, keep going with it. Set new
Mm-hmm.
goals. It's just like it's everything else in life. You set a goal, you hit it. Hell, set a new one.
Yep.
You you set a goal. Okay, I want to smoke 3 less cigarettes a day, or 1 less cigarette a day, or a pack less, whatever it is. And you hit that goal. Don't stop there. Keep
Yep.
going with it. Always, always improve yourself. Always better yourself. If it's vaping, if it's at work, whatever it is, always better yourself. You'll be able to tell it's a great thing long, long down the road. Might not be a great thing right then and there because it might be hell for you. Like people who are smoking and they're well, that's smoking or not smoking those two other cigarettes a day is really getting at me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, reassess your goals. Maybe make it only one, and then go back down to two, and then three, or whatever it is. But just make little goals and achieve them and celebrate them, and then keep going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to go back on your goals. Make hold yourself accountable for your goals and everything. It's one thing I always like to say,
Yep.
no matter what it is.
And
Like
get
with fitness, I have a
involved.
buddy who's always like that, always making hard to reach goals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to lose this much weight and I'm going to meal prep every week.
Yeah.
Start with meal prepping for half a week or something. Start with that, or start with losing a little bit of weight. Don't go
Yeah.
after, okay, this is my goal. I want to lose 100 pounds. Go after 10, 20 pounds at a time.
Yeah.
I was like, you'll eventually see that it's easier and easier to achieve your goal because if you set your goals too high, you might have that goal as a long term goal, but don't think of that goal as, hey, that's what I want to hit within this next month because it's not going to happen. That's what
Right.
I always tell him. He's like, man, how do you stay so so good on your goals? Like, how do you stay with all of your meal prep and everything? I started with small goals. I worked my way up to the big goals, and now I just keep setting different goals. He's like, man, I really need to try that. And eventually, he came in one day. Hey, look what I did. I'm like, dude, that's great. I love to see that you did that finally. I've been telling you to do it for years, but it's good to see that you're doing it.
You
So
finally
you just
listened. But yeah, I mean, seeing people hit their goals, you always want to have that long term goal. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand hitting that long term goal may take 10 short term goals.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You know, start little. You know, like me, I ended up this past year getting back up to around 270, and I don't want to be there. So I said, well, why don't I do this? I got a bag of protein powder. It
Mm-hmm.
was cinnamon bun flavored, which helps me again with being diabetic, where I can cut out the wanting the sweets. Uh, so I started every morning. I make a protein shake with this protein powder, and I drink it on the way to work, and that's my breakfast. So I
Mm-hmm.
used it as a meal replacement. So now I'm not stopping for a biscuit and taking in all those carbs and all this
Mm-hmm.
other stuff. And number one, I think I've lost about 8 pounds. Number
That's good.
two, I feel so much better during the day simply because I get all that stuff, all the energy and the vitamins and everything from the protein powder, that it's a
Mm-hmm.
world of difference. Where,
Oh yeah.
you would get that biscuit and, you would spike your energy and then you would just go right down the other side on the cliff.
Yep.
By 2 o'clock, I'm sitting in my chair doing this simply because I'm so tired. Where this stuff, I mean, I stay up here all day long, and then it's a very slow paced ramp down.
Mm-hmm.
About probably 3:30 in the afternoon, I can feel it start slowing down, but it
Yeah.
makes all the difference in the world just replacing one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I want to lose more, so I'm going to change my diet now, where, I'm eating less carbs and, go more protein. This is totally not a vaping subject, but it applies to everything that we've talked about over the last 15, 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh, but yeah, just make sure everyone you're setting goals. I mean, even if you're using your goals for who to call, if you can only call one person a day because you have stuff to do, start setting those goals a little higher. Don't just keep hitting that same goal over and over. After you've hit it a couple times, set your goal a little higher. Set your goals higher and higher and higher so that way you can get there. Running down to the end of it. So, Shane, you got any last words you want for everyone to
Keep
hear?
it Keep it up, everybody. We're doing a great job as a whole, as a community. I am so proud of everybody that's out there trying to make a difference. Everyone has stepped up to the plate and said, hey, I want to be a part. I want to make a difference. I don't want this to go away. And it's almost like a group mantra, you know, I want to
Mm-hmm.
save vaping, and it's not just one person saying it, everybody's saying it. Everybody's making an effort, and that's so great to see. It just makes me so happy to see that people are actually doing it, and they're actually going out and stepping out of their comfort zone and making these phone calls and sending these letters that they may have kind of held back before simply because of their personalities. They're not ready for something like that, but this has kind of forced people out of their comfort zone, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I heard something weird through the mic. Didn't know what it was. It was a loud truck going down the road. But, again, thank everybody for tuning in. Clown, thank you for coming in, brother. We love you. Thank you again for being a supporter of this show and the Weekday Wisdom. Much love out there to you.
Oh yeah. And the only thing I want to say is like what we've been saying: set your goals, keep it up. I mean, like Shane said, I love seeing it on Instagram and Twitter and everywhere. I've been getting on social media a lot lately, but believe me, I love seeing it. I love seeing all this going on. I love seeing everyone being more united and people not really arguing with people. It seems like we're more of a family now. Before it was like, okay, you had your family, this is the other family. Now it seems like we're all one big family, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but hey, whatever's going on. I mean, if it's just everyone being scared or something, and everyone's like, all right, crap, now it's time to do something. Whatever it is, I don't care. I just love seeing everyone be so united and such a community and a family over this. I mean, it's awesome to see, and I just want to keep seeing this go. I mean, even after, say, if everything gets over and done with and vaping is back to normal, we have small regulations or whatever it is across the country. I want to make sure we keep this unity because this is awesome. Uh, just seeing everyone band together, seeing people not hate on trickers or people not hate on companies just because they don't like what they're doing. I mean, yeah, if they're doing something shady, hate on them. It's whatever. But seeing all these people band together just because, oh, well, this guy took this person's recipe or whatever. But now everyone's not really worried about that. They're putting all the small things aside and everyone's trying to come together as one. They're not, oh, I don't like this reviewer. Hell, even Rip Trippers is out there making videos now. I'm not saying everyone needs to go out there and make a video, but it's catching the eye of everyone. So just make sure we're staying united. Stay supportive of everyone too. Stay supportive of the vapors out there, the small ones, the regulars, whatever. But help them achieve their goals, and then celebrate it with them. But just make sure we're hitting all of our goals. Make sure we're making those phone calls. Do what you can to help, and just stay united and stay a community. That's what I'm living right now.
Yep.
But that's it for episode 32. We will be back for the weekday wisdom, and then we'll be back for weekend wisdom next week. So we'll see y'all then, and I hope